This week on the bonus round, we're at DICE in Las Vegas breaking down what we think Sony will have in store for us during their big meeting this Wednesday, February 20th. Kotaku's Stephen Totilo and Polygon's Brian Crescente join the show to weigh in on Sony's big event and whether or not we will finally see the PlayStation 4.
I hope so. I mean, they said that they want to talk about PlayStation business. I hope they don't mean that literally, because that would be kind of dull, I think.
How will Sony set the stage for the next gen? Time will tell, however the bonus round starts right now. Hey everybody, welcome to an all-new bonus round right here on GameTrailers.com. This month we're here at the DICE convention in Las Vegas, where a lot of the top creative minds in the gaming business get together to talk about the future of where gaming is going. And this time in the bonus round, we've got Brian Crescente, who is the news editor for Polygon, and Stephen Totilo, the editor-in-chief of Kotaku. And this week is about the big announcement this week, which is the PlayStation meeting, which is coming up this Wednesday. We'll all be in New York City at 6 p.m. Eastern for this mysterious meeting. The last PlayStation meeting was the announcement of the PlayStation Vita, or then known as the NGP. Brian, it seems like it's a foregone conclusion that this is the announcement of the PlayStation 4.
Right? I hope so. I mean, they said that they want to talk about PlayStation business. I hope they don't mean that literally, because that would be kind of dull, I think.
We'll hear about the 10-year life cycle to start, but how will it close, we don't know. But Stephen, is there any chance that this is not the PlayStation 4 announcement?
Well, I guess there's a chance it's the PlayStation 5 announcement, that they're
or
just going to
next
skip
PlayStation,
it,
the new PlayStation,
or whatever they're going to call it. So there's the chance of that, but obviously it's the new console, and it's all the excitement that goes around that. And hopefully lots of surprises, despite the fact that so much has been leaking. I'm sure we're going to get surprised. It should be cool.
There's been a little leaking about specs, but I feel like, in terms of games from their first-party studios, we really have no idea what to expect in that regard. And, we'll see, form factor and things like that. There's still some days to go, so things could leak. But, we'll see.
I would look at which Sony development studios haven't put out a game in a while.
Right.
It's not, I think, a perfect way of judging it, because if you did that, then you would think Polyphony Digital has a new game coming out every year, because they're always so many years from putting out their last game. But they're due. I'd say Sucker Punch, the infamous people, they seem like they're due for a game.
Guerrilla, I think.
Guerrilla, right? They haven't. I mean, they have a portable game coming out. Naughty Dog is supposed to be a 2-game studio now, and we only know about one of those games, so maybe we'll find out about another one of those games. So.
Yeah, I think the big question will be how much will they show. I still remember E3 2005 with the PlayStation 3 announcement. There were target renders and things. I mean, that was an epic, I want to say, like 2+ hour press conference with a lot of content. I mean, they really told a big story. And I would think, especially since they seem to be coming out first, trying to make a lot of noise, I feel like there's going to be a lot of stuff here. I mean, some people are speculating, we're just going to see a tech demo or something. I feel to bring the world's media to New York, have a big event like this, they must have something to say.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the PlayStation or the PSV event, and I think it's going to be a lot like that event.
Right.
I think they're going to bring up a lot of developers to show off games. I mean, I love games, obviously. We all love games. But I think the thing that's really going to win this coming generation of console war isn't going to really be the games. I think it's going to be all the things it does that has nothing to do with gaming. So, like, can you share your videos? Can you share your pictures? What's their communication system going to be like? Something that they've had a lot of problems with the PS3.
Yep.
And so I think.
Do you think they'll get that granular? Because I wonder, this is, if it's an announcement of a platform. Obviously, we're going to see some great graphics. We're going to hear about a vision. But I wonder, how detailed do you think they're going to get about their PlayStation Store and their network and all those types of things?
I mean, I think that, I don't think they're going to get super granular, but they're going to need to have talking points. Like, if they want people to be talking about it outside the realm of gaming, they can't just show their latest game and say, look how good the graphics are. They're going to have to say, it also does this thing. Or it's going to replace your cable box, or it's going to be your multimedia hub, something. I know they've already said all those things before.
Well, the question is, how can they surprise us? And that's the thing, is we sort of know we're going to see, better graphics. We're going to see sequels from, some existing PlayStation studios, probably some news about the store and online. Stephen, what could they do that, would be unexpected here?
I'll answer your question in a second, but I do hope that nobody from Nintendo is watching this part, because I do want to point out, you did say that Sony would be going first.
Yes.
And surely your pal Reggie from Nintendo might argue that Sony's
Well, I don't
going
know. You should talk to
second.
John Riccatello, who's talking about the next generation.
or
starting
third.
with Gen 4.
I think one of the things that Sony is in a good position to do, and that might back up some of Brian's sentiment that they might be more granular than you would expect, is that it's obvious that they did some things wrong in this past generation, and even things like not having cross-game chat, which was a thing for so long.
Right.
That they have a checklist, I'm sure, of things they wish they could have done differently, or that they definitely are going to do right. And they can tick some of that off at this event if they want to. And it may not mean anything to the average person or the mainstream news outlet that's going to write about the PS4 unveiling, but if they spend 30 seconds saying, cross-game chat, we got that, that'll mean a lot to the hardcore, to the people who are already planning days in advance to, set their lives around the February 20th event. So some surprises that just, I think, make the hardcore feel more comfortable about what's coming. I think that kind of stuff will be there.
All right, guys, hold that PS4 thought. We'll be right back after the break.